What's up YouTube, it's Reed, #1 console player in the world ever created in the galaxy, and I'm back with a new Warzone 2.0 and Modern Warfare 2 Season 2 Reloaded best settings video. So they added a couple new settings in this new update, so we're just going to go through and fly through the entire list, and I'll talk to you guys about the new settings they changed, some things that you definitely gotta change. Also helps you, by the way, if you want to throw in some important settings that you want to change very quickly and very easily, you throw those in the quick settings. I definitely got a couple things that I got to change, like this, for example, in DMZ. Starting off in controller, you already know we play on a controller. We're not a nerd. We don't play on mouse and keyboard like one of those weirdos. Button layout, we play bumper, jumper, tactical. Even though I do use a scuff controller and I have 4 paddles on the back of my controller, I still jump with L1. That is just muscle memory. As long as I can remember, L1 has been a jump button, not X or A like most other people. Controller vibration, I have that turned on. 99% of people anywhere ever are going to tell you to turn that off. I have never played anything ever without having vibration enabled on my controller. It just feels weird. I can't shoot straight, so I need it on. Most people are going to tell you to turn that off. Trigger effect, we got the full haptics on that. Now my sensitivity is a little bit unique compared to most people. I have a 7 horizontal and 5 vertical sensitivity. Now that lets me be a little bit more precise with how high I'm aiming. Back in the jetpack CODs, I used to play at a 7-7 when people were flying up, down, left, and right all over the place. And then when we went from jetpacks to people are never more than a 2nd story building above me, I turned my vertical sensitivity down, and I like that a lot. It definitely helps fine-tuning and beaming people off of head glitches. In Warzone, though, I'm not necessarily going to say this is the best, because in this, comparative to like jetpacks, you got people still flying up, down, left, and right all over you. It's just not as often. It's not every single gunfight like in the jetpack, so I don't necessarily recommend you go with a drastically lower vertical sensitivity, but it's definitely something to try if you're still looking for your sense and can't find exactly what you like. All the sensitivity multipliers are on 1. We get more fine-tuned with that in the advanced settings. Vertical aim axis, all these are standard. Aim down sight behavior hold, chain zoom, sprint tactical sprint focus, automatic tactical sprint. Unlike Warzone 1, I have this turned off. It is not anywhere near as beneficial in this game as it is in Warzone 1. So I definitely recommend you turn this off. And there's another setting that we're going to change instead later. Armor plate behavior, you definitely want this to apply all that way. You could put in all 3 plates at once. It minimizes the amount of buttons you got to press basically, or how long you have to hold it. Prioritize interact. This is a very important setting right here. This allows you to pick things up off the ground faster. I definitely recommend you either prioritize interact or reload. That way you can just do things in general just a little bit faster. Aim assist on. So unlike my Warzone 1 settings video, we got aim assist turned on. I kind of had a change of heart. I went from Warzone 1 where I just wanted to, prove to the mouse and crybabies that you don't need it, Now I find it hilarious when they whine and cry and complain and moan about aim assist. I find it so funny, so I just want to make it worse. I want to make it happen more often. Every time I get an aim assist lock on or only get a kill because of aim assist, it makes me laugh knowing that a mouse and keyboard player is seeing that, and it fucking makes them want to cry. I love it. So we got aim assist type default. I don't like the Black Ops aim assist or any of the other ones. I just like the way the default feels. My response curve type, I play on linear. Back when MW19 first came out, I tried with a bunch of different settings and combos between aim response curves and aim assist types, and linear and then default were the ones that I enjoyed the most. They just felt the most natural to me. There is not one of these that is better than the others. It's not like anyone's going to give you a competitive advantage. It's just more about what feels best to you. I recommend you try all 3 of these out. Find the one that you like the best, what feels the most natural to you, and stick with that one, and don't change it from there. And then we got the custom sensitivity per zooms right here. The low zoom up to 5 times we got on 0.8, and then the higher zoom 6 times to the high zoom is a 0.9. This will help you fine-tune your aim while you're aimed on sights and actually aiming at somebody. My input dead zone, so the current controller I'm using right now does not have the fancy smart triggers that I am used to, so I put my button dead zones down to 0. Just helps you react just that little bit faster. I know in the previous videos I have the fancy triggers that are mouse clicks that make the button dead zone setting not important. Also, your right stick minimum dead zone, you want that ideally to be as low as possible. The lower it is, the more responsive it is, and you want that. That helps you be more responsive with your aim and be able to make those super fine-tuned adjustments to beam people at long ranges. But you also don't want your stick moving a lot on its own. Now I say a lot because if your stick is just moving ever so slightly, you have the smallest amount of stick drift, that's not that big of a deal. That is never really going to affect you in a gunfight. It's never going to negatively affect you if it's just slowly moving on your own. It's when it gets to be a drastic drift and completely like 180 you if you drop your controller for 3 seconds. That's not something you want as much. The left stick max input all the way, by the way, allows me to just move just that high. It doesn't make that big of a difference. You can keep this at 0.99, but I moved it to 0.8 to be able to hit that maximum speed just that hair faster. Not a drastic difference at all by any means. The gyro behavior, I've got this turned off. This is that new setting that allows you to like aim by tilting your controller and stuff. I've got this all turned off, so none of these gyro settings really matter too much. None of them are very important. That is not something I've yet to really explore with just a little bit. Tactical sprint behavior toggle. This allows me to just not have to push down on my thumbstick and hold it down while going on long distance runs while I'm not really paying too much attention. I'm over here reading chat. My guy's just running. I'm not pressing any buttons. It's real nice. Now this setting right here, this is the auto tac sprint replacement right here. Single tap to run. In this game, it is way more beneficial in Warzone 1 to be able to burger walk, as we call it. You just walk forward. You walk forward, not sprinting, not crouching. You just burger bot walk forward. That is way more important. This also makes it easier to use akimbo pistols or shotguns. Makes it or hip fire too. Makes it way easier to use that. You just click in your thumbstick once to tactical sprint. There's never a time when you want to just regular sprint. I've never had an instance where I want to sprint but not tactical sprint. So being able to single tap once just a tactical sprint makes things way better. Makes it so you don't have to double tap your controller to tactical sprint. That is a fantastic setting. I recommend you turn on right there. Now this is a new setting I'm changing right now. I always mantle onto things while trying to jump in gunfights. I always do that so much, so I'm trying to turn this off for this season. I just did this. We're gonna see if I like this or not. We're gonna see if I feel like this makes it better or if there's too many instances when I can't jump onto something that I want to jump onto. Same thing with all 3 of these. Got to have all 3 of these turned off to minimize the accidental mantling in the middle of a gunfight. Now, invert slides and dive behavior. A lot of people will see me go from a really high point to just super jump, the Superman jump as some people call it. Inverted is how you be able to do this. That way, if you just tap your dive button while sprinting, you will dive rather than sliding, because sliding is not really useful in this game and diving definitely is. So I definitely recommend you change this to inverted and get used to that. Shouldn't take you too long. Another setting I changed in this video is plunge freely while plunging underwater. I'm not very often in water, so this is not something I noticed, but this is something that I saw somebody recommend that you should do, so I changed this. We'll see if I can get used to that. Auto deploy, you definitely want that turned off to help you get down to the ground as fast as possible. You will break your ankles sometimes. It's gonna happen. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. I've had some embarrassing moments where I break my ankles. It's okay. Just shrug it off. Sprinting DoorDash, we got that on. Ledge hang. This is another setting that I just changed recently. I constantly get caught on ledges and absolutely lose my mind with the ledge hang behavior in this game. Absolutely can't stand it. So I'm going to try and change to movement based rather than mantle only to see if this bugs me just a little bit less. I do not use alternate controls in the backpack either. Not really something I got used to the backpack very quickly. Was never an issue for me, so I didn't want to change the controls and have to relearn it again. So that is something you can try if you want. Not a bad setting to have on, but not one for me. We're on to the graphics. On-demand texture streaming. I was told to turn it off. I don't really know. I've never noticed a difference with it on or off. That's just somebody told me to turn it off, so I did. These settings are way more important. Motion blur, film grain, depth of field, keep those off. You definitely want those off. That is a noticeable difference right there. Fidelity, FX. I was told to turn it on. I was told to turn it to 81. I've never noticed a difference between this on 0 or this on 100, but that's up to you. If you kind of see that kind of difference, you could try them all. This is what I was told to use. The 120 hertz refresh rate, I got that turned on. I've got a 1440 120 hertz monitor. Doesn't look any different from 1080/60 to me, but if you notice that difference, W for you. Field of view, I play on 99 now. I got sick of people crying and complaining about 80. You definitely should not have this cranked up to 120 max. You should not do that. You want to find the sweet spot somewhere between 90 and 110. I would go with 100, but to be different, we just went one down to 99. Somewhere between 90 and 110 is your sweet spot. You don't want to go higher than that. You don't really want to go lower than that. Camera movement, you definitely want this camera movement all the way down to least. I did the entire Orion camo grind with this on default 100%. Couldn't figure out why my screen was shaking like a twerk team. Could not figure that one out until somebody pointed out that I forgot to change this setting. so don't make the same mistake I did. Brightness, this is more personal with your monitor. Mine's just set to 50 in the middle. I can change my monitor settings as well, or TV, if that's what you have. Safe area, same thing, that's more to your monitor or TV settings. On to the audio settings. Now let this be known, I can't hear anything, ever. I've never been good at sound whoring in COD, all the way back to the older CODs where footsteps were better. It was easier to sound whore. I've still never been good at it. I'm not good at listening to footsteps, never been able to, so take my settings with a grain of salt here. Audio mix, headphones. I've switched from the headphone bass boost to the headphones. Didn't notice any difference at all in quality. Master volume 68 because it's as close to 69 as I can get. Music volume, anybody anywhere is going to tell you to turn this off, but I've got mine cranked all the way up so I can listen to Sweet Home Alabama while cruising in a helicopter in game. And that's just me. This is the menu music you're hearing in the background. There's some intense end game music as well. There is zero competitive advantage to keeping this on. Most people are going to tell you to turn it all the way off. Voice chat volume, teammates be yelling in my ear, so I got to keep this down a lot. One thing I definitely recommend, even if you don't use proximity chat, this is more on the bigger map because Ashika does not apply to. Even if you don't use proximity chat at all, having this on can help you because you'll see the red names on the side of your screen to let you know that somebody is nearby. So I definitely, even if you don't use it, I would recommend you have proximity chat on to some extent. You could turn the voice chat volume way down or something like that if you want to, but it's definitely beneficial to have. These are your in-game microphone settings. These aren't too important. Subtitles don't matter too much. And then your interface settings. These are also not as important. Color customization. This is part of why my game looks the way that it does. I've got filter to color target. You want to either set to world or both. And then your color intensity 80 to 100, somewhere in that area. And then another thing too, so my pings on the map, if they are white or gray or something like that, it's a lot harder to see your own individual pings. So I change your neutral color to something else, something that's different from the other color pings. That way you can see your pings easier on the map. Definitely a little minor benefit that I recommend you change. Minimap size, you want that as a square to see the most possible. You can see on this image right here the difference in minimap surface area for the square versus the circle. You definitely want that on your square. Horizontal compass, that helps. That helps. For those of you that don't know, sometimes if you don't have a UAV up and somebody is shooting, their red dot will still show up on the compass. It won't show up on the minimap, but if you see a red dot on the compass, you know somebody is in that general direction. Crosshair, I've got this turned on. I don't ever really notice that my crosshair is there. That's just kind of ingrained in my mind where the center of my screen is. I don't have to think about it. I just know where it is. But that could definitely help you if you're trying to learn. If you're watching a settings video, chances are it could definitely help you benefit from that. Same thing, you want hit markers on to know when you're hitting your targets and stuff. And then the damage-based hit markers, the red hit marker definitely helps a lot too. You definitely want this on as well, just so you can know when you kill somebody. Player names, you want the full name as big as possible to give you any indication, any benefit right there that you can see if somebody is on your screen. Sometimes you will see a player's name through the wall when you can't see them at all. That definitely helps out a lot as well. This is another relatively newer setting to COD. A lot of people say, oh, you switched to PC now, you switched to PC, you're not on the PS5 anymore. No, I'm still on the PS5. Still on the PS5, but they added these options for console now so you can see your latency and packet loss in the top left of your screen like PC players can. And then this, the best setting that they added in Modern Warfare 2, the setting I've been asking for since the day this game came out, and I heard that Battlefield 2042 had a setting like this. You can finally make it so you stop getting permanent eye damage every single time you get flashbang. Your screen doesn't have to shine bright and white like a diamond anymore. You can make it so that way when you get flashbanged, it goes black. Your screen blacks out and you are not burning your retinas anymore. Turn this inverted flash setting on. This is going to be a lifesaver for shipment, bro. I am so happy. This is the biggest setting that they changed in the entire Season 2 Reloaded update. So you definitely want to turn that one on. And that is pretty much it for all the settings. That's everything new that there is in Season 2 Remastered. So let me know what settings you guys are running on or settings that you think I should change. Let me know if any of this helped you, if you like anything, if you learned something new. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe if you're new to the channel, and have a fantastic day.